Relatives of Freddie Gray and their attorney are set to speak in Baltimore. They're reacting to the announcement from the city's top prosecutor that the 6 officers who arrested Freddie Gray now face felony charges in his death. Those officers face anywhere from 20 to 62 years in prison if convicted. Now the family and the attorney. Let's listen.
Good afternoon. First, we will hear from the representative of the Gray family, who has brief remarks to make. Then I'll make brief remarks, and then we'll take a handful of questions.
My name is Richard. I'm one of Freddie's 2 fathers. We are satisfied with today's charges. These charges are an important step in getting justice for Freddie. And we ask that whoever comes to our city, a city that we love, a city that we live in, come in peace. And if you are not coming in peace, please don't come at all. Because this city needs to get back to work. The last thing that Freddie would want is to see the hard-working people of Baltimore lose their jobs and businesses because of his death. You all know that would totally defeat the purpose of what we are trying to work towards. Remember, without justice, there is no peace. But let us have peace in the pursuit of justice. Thank you.
Today is a momentous step on the road to justice for Freddie. In losing Freddie, the Gray family has been put through real hell. One can only imagine the tremendous pain and suffering that this family has endured. For the parents' loss of a son and the sister's loss of a brother. Freddie was taken too early and too horrifically. And the worst of the Gray's family days in the history of this family have been the last 3 weeks. Today has given the Gray family a measure of hope. We thank the state's attorney and her team for their unprecedented courage and their measured and professional response to this crisis. They have our gratitude in their pursuit of justice. However, we must be mindful that this is a first step, not the last. But while the state's attorney's office continues to do its work, the community, this community, and other communities like it all over the country have much work to do of their own. The overwhelming number of people who have protested over these many days did not know Freddie personally. But they and the people of Philadelphia, New York, Cincinnati, and numerous other cities, numerous other towns, and numerous rural areas are expressing their outrage that there are too many Freddie Grays. And if Freddie Gray is not to die in vain, we must seize this opportunity to reform police departments throughout this country so that there are no more days and times like this. It is now time for every city, including our own, to make all citizens of this country treated with human dignity, unaffected by color, religion, gender, income, or of the other irrelevant differences that wrongly exclude them from the human family. Let us make this the overarching meaning of justice for Freddie. Freddie's family is gratified that the ministers, elected officials, and others have stepped into the streets to counsel peace. But the family is especially gratified that the young people of America are showing us the way. They are firm, strong, and bound together in a mission for change. Our young people have friends, classmates, relatives, spouses, and co-workers from all races, all colors, all sexual orientations, all religions, and all incomes, who have enabled them to see with unmistakable and unprecedented clarity that we are all members of one race, the human race. With every ounce of their being, they express this universal desire for one country, one people. And they will fight peacefully until that goal is realized. But with all these unprecedented experiences comes enormous responsibility, because most of us have never been in a place like this before. Our young people must show us the way thoughtfully, creatively, and peacefully. As three of the greatest leaders in recent history, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela, have taught us, the only lasting response to evil is love. Freddie Gray's family thanks you for the love you have shown them. Now let us all show them the fruits of that love. Real and lasting progress. The lasting changes we make will be Freddie's legacy. And the changes we make in Baltimore can set the example for this nation. We can start with body cameras. We can continue with tough and enforceable regulations for the on switch, never to be turned to the off switch inappropriately. We shall demand better hiring, better training, better oversight, and a new culture of policing. Yes, a new culture of policing, where good policing is rewarded and bad policing is punished. Where bad policemen fear committing misconduct because good policemen no longer fear preventing it, correcting it, reporting it, or prosecuting it. The blue wall of silence, which makes policemen wrongfully conspire to conceal evil, must come down. In the days ahead, we will be inviting police experts, community leaders, rank and file officers, and others who have seriously studied what must be done to join us in what we hope will be a new Baltimore, to create and implement these reforms so that they will be a model for the nation. We must seize this moment. Only this kind of lasting progress, a truly lasting progress, a permanent lasting progress, can assure Freddie Gray's family and the rest of us that Freddie's death was not in vain. Let us pray for Freddie's family, and let us pray that God will guide us to do His will or her will in the pursuit of justice, so that this country will surely be and truly be a place where everyone, regardless of their color, or whatever difference may be superficially apparent, can get liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, and we'll take your questions.
What is your reaction to the order of...
Man, you fast.
What is your reaction to the order of police saying that the officers are not responsible for this?
Well, you know, that's a premature statement, obviously. And if they, too, are interested in a full, thorough, and fair investigation and to follow the facts where they lead us, they won't say stuff like that. We haven't said stuff like that. We haven't said we believe these officers are guilty. We haven't said we believe they're innocent. We said that we want justice. And justice means following the true facts as best we can find them wherever they lead and apply the law correctly and fairly so that whatever the verdict is of a jury will be a just verdict.
Mr. Murphy, did this must be a measure of hope right here with CNN? Well, you say this is a measure of hope. Today's charges represent that. How concerned are you about the elapsed time between the charges imposed today, going to trial, and the outcome?
There is not going to be a rush to justice in this case. And our state's attorney has taken a thorough look at the facts, and she has made charges. The timetable for prosecuting anyone, whether he be police officer or citizen, is never the same. It adjusts itself to how quickly the investigation can be performed in a fair, prompt, complete, and reasonable fashion. Accuracy is the order of the day. And we have to await the result of a trial before we can determine how accurate her formulation and her charges are.
But in between, don't you worry, or do you worry about evidence tampering of such, stories changing, any compromising of the investigation that still continues?
We always worry about that. We always worry that things can derail the pursuit of justice. And as a former defense lawyer and, well, current defense lawyer and judge, I've seen things happen that shouldn't have happened. But I pray that under this microscope, we will all behave at our highest levels. And I invite the representatives of the police to join us in that pursuit. We should not rush to justice. We should not assume what the result of this prosecution should be or should not be, because we want justice. That's all we want.
You say, sir, officers being criticized for coming to charge so quickly. What are your thoughts about this motion?
It'll all come out in the wash.
What does that mean?
In other words, if it came too quickly, the results will show it. If it was a measured, fair, and prompt investigation, the results will show that. So we have to wait and see. But I have confidence in this particular group of prosecutors that they handled this investigation properly and thoroughly.
When you look at the charges, are you...
Attorney for and previously the father of Freddie Gray, speaking in the wake of the announcement of charges against 6 police officers. We know 5 are now incarcerated. One we still don't know the status on, but arrest warrants are out. The father of Freddie Gray said that the family was looking for peace on the road to justice, asking for calm across the country on this May Day, where demonstrations are scheduled in many of our large cities and in some smaller towns as well. An enormous one going on here in New York City. So far, no problems at all as it began at the top of the hour. Freddie Gray's family speaks out, asking for peace.